Every day we encounter countless people in our lives. Some inspire trust with just a glance, while others exhaust our spirit with empty and meaningless words. Sometimes, the person in front of us deliberately tries to provoke us with their words, expecting an emotional reaction. Yet in such moments, the greatest strength lies in staying calm and giving a simple but profound response at the right time, because strength is not in shouting but in silence. True power is not in overpowering others, but in maintaining control of the situation. And believe me, a wise and composed remark can shake the other person far more than hours of argument ever could. This is exactly what Stoic philosophy teaches us. Don't respond to every word, but when you do respond, let it be something that both elevates you and makes the other person think. Imagine this. Someone does everything they can to make you angry, but instead you calmly deliver a single sentence that leaves them speechless, unsure of what to say next. That's not just a reply, it's a demonstration of superiority. Today I will share with you 5 intelligent responses that will become a new weapon in your life. These replies will make you appear both strong and composed. You'll be able to take control even of the most difficult conversations. And remember, sometimes just a single sentence is enough to silence the person in front of you. If you're ready, let's begin. But before we dive into the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video and share it. There are people whose greatest purpose in life seems to be to argue, to provoke you, and to prove themselves right. They're not seeking conversation, they're seeking victory. In such situations, most of us instinctively try to defend our opinion and force the other side to accept our words. But remember, the moment you surrender to your emotions, you're already playing the game by their rules. Now think, what happens if you simply smile calmly and say, "That's an interesting point"? First, you're not joining the argument. The other person is ready for battle, but you're not stepping into the war. That immediately ruins their plan. Second, you're neither accepting nor rejecting their words. The phrase seems neutral, but it's actually powerful, because you're not saying, "What you said means nothing to me." But you're also not saying, "You're completely right." By simply saying, "That's an interesting point," you put the responsibility back on them. Why is this so effective? Because human psychology expects either acceptance or rejection, but you show them a third path. They expect a reaction, yet you simply mirror their words back to them. Often this leaves them with nothing else to say. In Stoic philosophy, there's a principle. Don't take words as weight, treat them as wind. They pass by and you remain calm. Saying "that's an interesting point" is a practical way of applying this wisdom. You're not accepting the words, but you're not resisting them either. You're simply letting them drift away. Imagine someone telling you, "What you're doing is completely meaningless. You're wasting your time." You could instantly defend yourself, explaining for hours. But in the end, that person might still remain in the same position. Instead, you smile and calmly say, "That's an interesting point." At that moment, the ball is in their court. They either fall silent or they keep talking, but you're no longer playing because you've changed the rules of the game. Remember, not everyone has to agree with you. Not every opinion will align with your values, but by staying calm, you protect your own stance. This response acts as a shield. It saves your time and energy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What others say does not define who you are. You can only control your own thoughts." When you say, "That's an interesting point," you're putting that wisdom into practice. The best part is this. The phrase doesn't come across as disrespectful. On the contrary, it seems like you're acknowledging what they said. Yet inwardly you preserve your position. This way you don't break the relationship, and you remain in the stronger position. So next time someone tests you with their words, just remember, there's no need to shout, to explain, or to argue. One simple sentence is enough. "That's an interesting point." With this reply, you both protect your calm and silence the other person. Now for the second response, "I'll think about it later." Everyone expects one thing, an immediate answer. Human nature works like this. Someone shares an opinion, and they instantly expect a reaction. If you hesitate, if you don't say yes or no right away, the other person becomes uneasy. Their mind says, "I spoke, now I must hear the response." But when you calmly say, "I'll think about it later," you break this pattern. The phrase seems simple, but it holds great power within it. First, you're not enslaved by your emotions. Often the people who want an immediate answer are hoping to trap you in the heat of the moment, in an emotional state. They want you to decide quickly, only to regret it later. But when you say, "I'll think about it later," you free yourself from that emotional pressure. It's as if you step back and observe the situation from above. Second, you gain time. In life, the right decision often requires just a little space, a little pause. But people try to rush us. Answer now. Choose now. Decide now. By calmly stating that your answer will come later, you both show strength and unsettle the other person. One of the most valuable Stoic lessons is this: rash reactions lead to mistakes, but composure always triumphs. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "They tell you to reply at once, but you answer only when your soul is calm." Saying, "I'll think about it later," is a direct application of this timeless wisdom in daily life. Imagine you're sitting with your friends and suddenly someone makes a proposal. "Let's drop everything tomorrow and go to a distant city." Inside you, emotions are boiling. There's excitement. But if you immediately say yes, you might regret it tomorrow. If you say no, you might damage the relationship. But calmly you say, "I'll think about it later." With this answer, you don't crush your friend's hope, yet you protect yourself. Another situation. At work, your boss pressures you. You must do this task this way, make a decision right now. Instead of bowing to the pressure, you simply respond, "I'll think about it later." This both softens their tone and gives you room to breathe. The most interesting part is that this phrase forces the other person into silence, because your refusal to react breaks their plan. They expected you to respond emotionally right away, but you take the game out of their hands. Remember, life's biggest mistakes come from rushed decisions. People often say yes in a moment of emotion, and then spend years regretting it with "if only." But if you recall this simple phrase each time, you'll protect yourself. "I'll think about it later." This expression is a sign of your inner strength, composure, and wisdom, because true power does not lie in a quick response, but in a calm answer delivered at the right moment. The third response is this: "I have no control over this." One of the deepest and most practical lessons Stoic philosophy teaches us is not to waste energy on things we cannot control. A large part of our lives is not in our hands. The weather, how people treat us, what society expects from us, all of these are beyond our control. Yet most people live as if their entire energy, time, and strength should be spent exactly on things they can't change. The Stoics said that happiness is not found in controlling the external world, but in mastering our inner world. If someone cannot get the response they expect from you, or if they try to pressure you, simply and calmly say, "I have no control over this." This simple sentence both shows your strength and closes a pointless argument, because you've already resolved it in your heart. You will not waste energy on something you cannot change. Imagine this: at work, your boss makes decisions based more on personal moods than your actual abilities. Sometimes they unfairly criticize you, sometimes they ignore your efforts. You cannot control this situation. It's not in your hands to change their thoughts, emotions, or position, but you can absolutely control your own reaction. In that case, tell yourself, "I can control my behavior, not their actions. I have no power over their emotions, but I do have power over my own patience and calmness." We can use this phrase in many daily situations. For example, a friend doesn't reply to you. You wait, you text again, but there's no response. You start to feel hurt, yet their behavior is not under your control. The moment you say, "I have no control over this," your burden lightens. At work, unexpected events occur. A project you carefully planned fails because external circumstances changed. This is not your fault. Accepting that not everything in life can be controlled frees you from unnecessary stress. In relationships, if the other person wants to distance themselves from you, you cannot force them to stay. The truest thing you can say is, "I have no control over this." This is not passivity. The Stoics never promoted surrender. On the contrary, this phrase makes a person more rational and stronger, because you direct your energy not toward things you cannot change, but toward what you can, your inner strength, your behavior, your thoughts. The famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is not the events themselves that disturb us, but our thoughts about them." If you change your thinking, the event itself will appear differently to you. The phrase, "I have no control over this," is actually a key to mental freedom. With it, you are no longer a prisoner of events, but the master of your life. To make this a practical habit, try this exercise. Whenever you face a difficulty, ask yourself, "Is this within my control or not?" If it is, take action and accept responsibility. If not, calmly tell yourself, I have no control over this. You are not giving up. You are simply directing your strength to the right place. Remember, behind this seemingly simple principle lies deep wisdom. Life is short and energy is limited. Spending it on things you cannot change wastes both your time and your inner peace. But by accepting this truth, you preserve your strength. And most importantly, you learn to live without being under the influence of others, fully in charge of your own life. The fourth wise response is, thank you for your opinion. One of the hardest lessons in life is how to deal with criticism. People often feel wronged, their pride is hurt, and they immediately want to defend themselves. But the Stoic approach is very different. The strongest response to criticism is calmness. Listening to someone's opinion about you and simply saying, thank you for your opinion, shows both your inner strength and your self-confidence. Sometimes people may deliberately say things to hurt you. Other times they may sincerely want to help, but express it harshly. In both cases, your reaction defines the moment. If you respond with anger, the conflict will escalate. If you get offended, the other person achieves their aim. But by saying, thank you for your opinion, you take control of the situation. Imagine this at work. Someone criticizes your work in front of everyone, saying, this is very poor. Your first instinct is to defend yourself. You don't know how hard I worked. But if you choose the Stoic approach, you can simply smile and say, thank you for your opinion. This simple sentence brings several results. The person sees you're not angry, and they stop their attack. In the eyes of others, you appear as someone confident and in control of their emotions. Most importantly, you protect your inner peace. Remember, not every criticism is hostility toward you. Sometimes hidden truth lies in what others say. The Stoics taught that you should always try to take a lesson from criticism. If what's said is true, correct it, because that helps you grow. If it's not true, just let it go, because it holds no power over you. In either case, saying thank you for your opinion is the key to accepting the lesson with ease. This approach can be applied in many different areas of daily life. In family relationships, when a parent or spouse speaks harshly to you, instead of responding immediately, calmly accept it. Saying thank you for your opinion prevents the argument from escalating, and often the other person will reflect on their behavior. In friendships, sometimes a close friend may express their opinion about you very openly. Even if it stings, it can serve as an honest mirror. By responding with gratitude, you preserve the relationship while also improving yourself. In social settings, responding calmly to someone's unpleasant remark with thanks surprises people because most are not prepared for it. This in turn becomes your advantage. Epictetus said, if someone speaks badly about you and it's true, correct yourself. If it's not true, laugh and let it go. In essence, the phrase, thank you for your opinion, is simply the verbal expression of this wisdom. To make this a habit, try this exercise. Whenever someone shares their opinion about you, even if you feel the urge to defend yourself, first take a deep breath and respond calmly. Thank you for your opinion. Then ask yourself, is there anything in this criticism I can improve? If there is, it's an opportunity for growth. If not, let it go. The key point is that this phrase is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of strength. It's easy to respond with anger, but remaining calm is something only those with true inner strength can achieve. By following this simple principle, you can strengthen both your relationships and yourself. Finally, the fifth response, your opinion reflects you, not me. One of the Stoics' most powerful lessons is this: what others say does not define who you are. People's words are mirrors of their own inner world. If someone insults, belittles, or tries to hurt you, it doesn't diminish your value. On the contrary, it says a lot about their character. The phrase, your opinion reflects you, not me, is one of the most graceful ways to both protect yourself and silence the other person. It shows that you are not a prisoner of someone else's words. Their thoughts express themselves, not you. Imagine a stranger on the street speaks rudely to you. At first you feel anger because it's unfair, but immediately you remember, their words do not define your worth. Their speech reflects their tension, their upbringing, or their insecurities. In this case, you calmly say, your opinion reflects you, not me. With this, you protect yourself and hold up a mirror to the other person. This principle can be applied across all areas of life. At work, A colleague criticizes your work unfairly. If you know the value of your work, their criticism cannot shake you. What they say reflects their perspective, not your abilities. On social media, often the most hurtful comments appear online. Every negative comment reflects the writer, not you. Their words reflect their mindset, not your worth. In personal relationships, when someone gets angry and speaks unpleasantly about you, they are expressing their emotions. This is not a measure of your value, but of their anger or weakness. Epictetus once said, "If someone insults you, remember they are not talking about you, but about their own perception." Living by this idea, the words of others affect you far less. You understand that the power of words comes from the meaning you give them. Responding this way also demonstrates your inner freedom. You cannot control how others see you or what they say, but how you react is entirely within your control. By saying, "Your opinion reflects you, not me," you do not give them power. You protect your own stance. As a practical exercise, each time someone expresses a negative opinion about you, silently repeat this phrase to yourself. "This is a reflection of their thoughts, not mine." Then take a deep breath and remain calm. If you feel the need, you can express it verbally. Over time, you will notice that the words of others no longer affect you the way they used to. This approach is not passivity. It is the highest form of strength. Silencing someone else's voice is easy, but turning their words into power within yourself is something only truly strong people can do. Remember, you cannot control whether others see you as valuable or not, but preserving your value in your own eyes is entirely up to you. The phrase, "Your opinion reflects you, not me," is your strongest shield for doing just that. In conclusion, it's important to understand this clear truth. The power of the Stoics lies not in words, but in calmness and measured responses. And these 5 simple yet powerful phrases can change much in your life. Remember, you are not obliged to respond to everything said to you, but the responses you choose can either elevate you or make you appear weak. These 5 responses are perfect tools to ensure people treat you with respect and recognize your authority. Use them whenever appropriate. Thank you for following along so far. Don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you won't miss new content. See you in the next video.